because it was making so much noise, and there are people who use that road every day.
Yes, and you are right. When we're arguing, and I was pointing out to you, I saw the earth moving equipment there and the excavators, and I saw them level the road, and I drove on it. 2-3 days after they did that, without any rain, the place is what it was when we saw it yesterday. Now, this road, they plan to construct this road and construct a dual carriage road linking the Teshi Highway to Spintex Road. The plan was actually made in 2006. In 2007, the Kufuor government paid compensation to persons whose homes were being affected, whose homes and properties were going to be affected by the expansion of the road into a dual carriageway. Compensation was paid in 2007. There were other property owners that didn't receive their compensation. In 2010, the Mills government paid the remaining property owners their compensation. In 2015, the government demolished all the structures that were to be affected because compensation had been paid. And I remember during the demolition, my colleague Nathan Gaduga at the time covered the story for Major Online. They demolished, they actually awarded a contract to a Chinese company. So between 2015 and 2016, there was a Chinese company working on this road. So they did all the drains, built all the bridges, and all the ancillary jobs were all done from 2015 and 2016. Then the road was abandoned since then, and nothing has happened. The road has been left in the very deplorable, dilapidated state in which it is. And every single day, we were lucky that it hadn't rained yesterday. If it had rained, the chaos you would have seen would have been unimaginable. And this is what thousands, tens of thousands of people have to live with every day of their life. Very many of them who have to go to work, who have to go home, people who have to go to the hospital. Everybody uses that road. And it's a long stretch, right from the Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Training Center, all the way to the Lekma Hospital, all the way to Manette, linking up with Spintex Road. Large road, properly planned, to ease congestion on the Spintex Road. And the road has been left undone for years. The harrowing part is every time we have done stories, I remember a colleague of ours, Jennifer Ekuama, doing a story and talking about pregnant women that were losing their pregnancies driving on that road. And yet, this is like in 2016. We are in 2019. The road is still left in the state in which it has been all these years. Now, if our government believed in 2007 that it was absolutely necessary to do this road, the government paid 900,000 compensation to property owners and demolished their properties to pave way for the construction of the road. More than 10 years down the line, the road still remains undone.
I don't understand, Malik. Forgive my ignorance. But if you can go through the trouble of paying so much money just to make space for the road, how do you not then just finish the road?
And during the demolition, the Lejokuku Kro Municipal Assembly, which conducted this demolition to pave way for the construction of the road, the municipal engineer at the time, Dr. Stephen Nsia, actually told Major Online's Nathan, that the determination to do the road was unquestioned. And that even though there were some people who were complaining that their properties were being demolished, and at the time, regrettably anymore, there were people who believed that even though their structures were being demolished, the road was not going to be constructed. This demolition was in 2015. It's been 4 years since, or 5 years since, and the people have been proven right.
Exactly.
because the
You've
construction has
demolished
not happened.
the houses, but you haven't finished the construction. I really don't understand. Maybe you can help me if you live in that area, if you ply the route there, if it's a road that you travel on every day or every so often. Call us. The phone lines are open 0302 216 541 0302 216 541. Now, Malik, I remember one of the trotro drivers who came to pass while we were standing there, and he seemed so upset. You know, he was talking about the fact that the cars were suffering. There was always a problem with the car, and he was like, he used the expression, they should stop the concert and just come and fix the road. And do you feel like, you know, the authorities are taking it seriously?
I feel upset as well every morning when I leave my home to drive to work on that road, especially when it rains. I feel justifiably angry. And I was asking, when we're planning, we're having this conversation, I was asking you, what should the people of the area do? In 2008, they voted massively for the NDC and voted an NDC member of parliament. The government appointed MCE for the area. Their roads remained undone. In 2016, the people decided that if the NDC government didn't solve their problems, they would change. They voted for the MPP. It's 3 years down the line. The people's state still remains the same.
So both governments have failed them,
Absolutely. So
essentially.
what should the people of Teshi and this area do? Because people vote believing that the persons that they vote will solve their problem.
Right.
And when they vote one person, the person is not solving their problem, they change and vote another person.
And that person hasn't
And
solved
that
their
problem,
problems.
that person too is not solving their problem.
Well, perhaps Bernard Asante from the Manette Road area in Lekma can tell us, what should the people do? Good morning, Bernard.
Good morning.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Yes, this road issue is talking about, it's taking a lot of time, long time. People have taken their compensations, gone for land, bought land in different areas, and yet still the road is not being done. I don't know the main reason behind why the road is not done, but I don't know. This is devastating because I live in the same community every day. You have to go to the washing bay. There is a bunch of water there in that area. You can't do anything. If you go to the washing bay, you end up coming to the same place. You end up. It's terrible here. A lot of Aboriginal people here are having a lot of diseases like asthma and cannot breathe consistently. You see, it's a problem. It's a problem. We beg Okoboy to fix the road, or else he will also move. He will move.
Right, thank you for that one, Bernard. And I have another Bernard on the phone. He's calling from Adbliza, also in the Lekma. Yes, we went also in the Lekma area. Bernard, good morning.
Yes, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Malik.
Malik is
good.
very well as well. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I mean, the road is just so bad. I mean, what can't even explain or express, you know, the disastrous road that we have here. When it rains, you know, now you don't even have potholes, you have manholes. You know, the rainwater is collected in the middle of the road. And if you use your vehicle, as I used some time back, my whole alternator and then the water tank, you know, was taken off. I mean, it's just so bad. And you can't believe that this is the road that leads to Lekma. It's a very strategic route, right from La Scala, Teshi La Scala, all the way to the Spintex Road, Manette. You know, and you can't believe pregnant women will be taken through ambulances on this road. And people here, the MP is talking about it. He himself is complaining. So how are we going to get the road done? And Parliament is going to spend $200 million to do a chamber. That's what they are thinking about. Sometimes you don't even understand the kind of country that we live in, whether we pay taxes or not. Because we are also taxpayers on this stretch. And this is a strategic road. Commonsensically, if you do this road, you are going to ease traffic because people will use it right to the Spintex road. So I wonder the kind of thinking that goes on. This couldn't be the only road in Ghana. I accept it. But it's a very major and strategic road that money has been already spent on. And I want to ask a question. Why is it that the road has seen so many contractors and still not completed? If you can give me the answer from the road minister or if you have it yourself.
Right, and Bernard will try to answer that question. Why have there been so many contractors, on that particular stretch of road? If you're tweeting about this, the hashtag is hashtag Joy SMS, hashtag Fix Lekma. Let's get involved. The more numbers we have, the more of an impact we can make. So if you live in this area, if you use this road, if you're affected by it, or if you're just a Ghanaian who is bothered by the fact that it takes so long for things to get done, then the hashtag is Fix Lekma, hashtag Joy SMS. I have Samuel on the line. Good morning, Samuel.
Good morning, madam. Please, I live around that place where you are talking about.
Okay.
But what we are going through there is very serious. You buy your car, the shops, every 3 months, 4 months, you have to go to the shop, Abosoka, and change it. It is very bad. And our leaders are failing us. Our leaders are really failing us. We vote for them, they come to power, they forget about us. They forget about us, what they are doing to us. A time is going to come in this nation when the youth will arise, start moving to the MPs and the so-called the big men. It is very bad. Why? What have we done to them? For them to treat us like that? It's very bad, please. We have to do something about this. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you very much, Samuel. And you can start by tweeting at us, hashtag JoySMS, hashtag FixLekma. Let's band together and demand change. Let's demand that this road is fixed. I have Mickey who's calling from Akosombo. Mickey, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, what's on your mind?
Yeah, actually, it's a matter of concern issue. I've been living my life in that area before. I think 2013-14, on that stretch from the Lekma Hospital to Spital Junction is quite dangerous, especially when it rains, like people are saying. And I realized that during that time, at least as if a contractor was working on the road. But at least as if immediately after MPP took over, the contract was voted. So these kind of things politicians are doing, it's not good. So people living there are suffering. In fact, I was listening to a documentary of Danny Dazi when he was traveling. It's just too much. And compared to Ashiyama and then Kragon Road, that road too has been there for over 50 years. And these people are flying there all the time. Look at that stretch, that major stretch from Kragon, Lashibi to Ashiyama. It's too dangerous if it rains. This port is a manhole. So what happened to this country? What happened to this country, my sister? I think Joy FM, I need to commend you guys. You are doing well. I remember you guys have fought for Medina over the
Medina Delta footbridge, yes.
I remember this morning I was praising this station. In fact, you are super Joy FM. You are helping this country, but only that leaders are so much wicked. They don't even want to listen to you guys. Joy FM.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I'm taking my last caller, Bismarck from Santa Maria. Good morning, Bismarck.
Good morning. Good morning.
So what's on your mind, Bismarck?
Sometimes I just wonder the kind of country we live in. Anything doesn't seem to work. I've been using that Lekma road, let's say 3 or 4 times in the week, and the road is so bad. The unfortunate thing is that road is linked to a very major hospital. And I don't know how the ambulances or people who are sick manage those roads. And sometimes it just baffles my mind, the kind of country we live in. Anything doesn't seem to work. Just look at the rise of this cancer disease and then this chronic diseases that are rising in this country. It's all because systems are not working. Anything doesn't seem to work. Food and drugs board are sitting down and people are importing all sorts of chemicals and all sorts of food, and then we eat, and then at the end of the day it gives us sicknesses, and then anything doesn't seem to work. I think the youth has to rise now and then start demanding for answers from these leaders. It's quite unfortunate. It's time the youth we rise up and then demand for answers.
Yes, indeed. It's time we rise up and demand answers. And I'll take a few of your messages. So this one says, It's funny and pathetic how with all her riches, almost nothing is done, yet her managers are so well placed together with their families and cronies. Anima, I live in Amalia, off the Teman Abokobi road, a wonderfully bad road like the Lekman one. Drivers pay roadworthy levies every year, yet nothing is done. We have educated men and women who know the right things to do, but are not. Look, vote me into power and I will change Ghana with you and I. That's from Makosby. Mr. Kofi says, fix Lekma. I've lived around Lekma for close to 15 years. Kufuor commissioned the road back in 2005 and developed a temporary road to handle the traffic. Since then, it's been promise after promise, year after year. That's Mr. Kofi. Sami from Teshi says, Anima, next time you come to Teshi, please go to Sea Lady. Go and see for yourself the kind of gutters constructed. I always ask if indeed it was constructed by an engineer or if it was done by a carpenter. The gutter is so bad to the extent that even when it has not rained, the gutter is already full to the brim. Yes, we saw some of the gutters and the drains there. We'll be doing that on our sanitation drive and most likely tomorrow as we continue this conversation. Hashtag fix Lexma. Maxwell says, guys, please come and have a look at the Nana Krom to Ashaiman Road. It is west on the Lekma Road due to a similar story. We plead with you to come and have a look. This road, if done, will take away so much traffic as it links Adenta and beyond with Lashibi and Tema. Malik and Anima, there's a 2-kilometer road from Tamale Technical University last stop and Polyclinic in Tamale was nearly tarred in 2016 after the elections. The potholes are like one village, one dam. Thank you for all your messages. This is still the Super Morning Show here on Joy 99.7. The hashtag is Fix Lekma. We're going to continue this conversation tomorrow and beyond until we see that something is done, until we see that that road is fixed. So get on the bandwagon and let's do this together. Malik, let me take your final thoughts on the subject just before we move on to our next conversation.
Anyway, when you have a major road going to a major hospital, and this is a major referral center in that part of the city, there cannot be any justification why we will take a decision in 2007 to do the road. 12 years down the line, the road has remained undone. And this, both sides of the road, right from the Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Training Center and from the Manette Junction, both sides of the road leading to this major referral center, both sides are terrible. And I cannot imagine why no one has found it necessary to deal with that road and fix it once and for all.
Yes, because it really is a once and for all situation. I'm sure the monies that have been used to over the years fix it a little bit. If they had put that money together, perhaps they would have made some headway.
Absolutely.
So let's band together and get that done as hashtag Fix Lekma, hashtag Joy SMS. We're going to take a few messages, but when we come back, imagine your life is going well. You found a beautiful wife. You have an amazing job. You are doing great and mighty things professionally. And then you make one decision which seemingly changes the trajectory of your life. How do you recover and how do you overcome? We're bringing you that story on I Survived here on the Super Morning Show. Stay with us.
Good morning, NDK. My name is Dora. I'm a tech entrepreneur.